There you go. Artists being attacked because of what they say and what they do, or I'm sorry, what they create. It's so odd to me. Okay, so let's get into this Roger Waters article here. So Roger Waters named on far right Ukrainian hit list. The Kiev-based website has accused musician Roger Waters, a founding member of the rock group Pink Floyd, of anti-Ukrainian offenses. These alleged offenses include spreading anti-Ukrainian propaganda, collaborating in efforts to legalize Russia's annexation of Crimea, and challenging Ukraine's territorial integrity. That's a lot for a musician to be doing. The site displays screenshots of an interview that Waters gave to Russian media in 2018, along with general information about Waters and remarks about the war in Ukraine that the musician has made in recent interviews. For example, it cites his comments about Crimea, the U.S. State Department's support for the 2004 coup d'etat in Ukraine, and the campaign of Russophobia. The site also quotes his characterization of Russians as brave, steadfast, and unyielding. God damn it. At the bottom of the page, I don't know how to say that, the newspaper calls for law enforcement agencies to intervene against Waters for his deliberate acts against Ukraine's national security, against peace, human security, and international law and order, as well as other offenses. Mayo Tvorets. The newspaper reportedly was established in 2014 by Anton Gurashenko, former aide to Ukraine's Minister of Internal Affairs. It lists personal information such as address and phone numbers for some of the alleged enemies of Ukraine that it names. The site became infamous when several people that it had singled out were murdered. These figures include Ukraine writers Olez Bizu, former Ukrainian legislator Oleg Konishnikov, and Italian freelance photojournalist Andrea Rocelli. Among the thousands of names that the newspaper lists are those of journalists, businessmen, and politicians, both Ukrainian and foreign. In addition to that of Waters, notable names include Victor. Okay, so this is long and just drawn out. They're just really trying to get their words in. Waters is currently performing on his This Is Not a Drill tour, which he wrote uses Waters' extensive artistic catalog to condemn the ruthlessness of the ruling elite in the United States and around the world. Virtually every song is dedicated toward pressing issues of our time: imperialist war, fascism, and the poison of nationalism, the plight of refugees, the victims of state oppression, global poverty, social inequality, the attack on democratic rights, and the danger of nuclear annihilation. Wow. Speaking of this tour, Waters recently said, "I'm getting this weird feeling that unlike other gigs I've done in the past, this gig sort of feels like it might be turning into a movement of some sort. I'm not saying I'm leading a movement, but I am saying I'm part of the movement, and so many people in the audience are part of it or are capable of becoming part of it. That feels like we are really together and that we're really talking to one another. Indeed, is precisely a mass movement based on international working class that must end the war and defeat fascism and imperialism." So this is weird. This is the World Socialist website. This is their article. That's an odd, but you definitely can tell that they have a bias here. Waters has correctly argued that the war did not begin with Russian invasion of Ukraine in February. The change of power in Ukraine in 2014, planned by Washington, simply provoked Moscow to take further action. He said in a recent interview with CNN that garnered significant attention. Waters flatly refuted the U.S. State Department talking points that interviewer Michael Shmerkanish, I can't say that name. He emphasized that the eastward expansion of NATO, which has carried out a violation of diplomatic assurances that had been given to Russia, was a major contributing factor to the war. So what he's saying that Ukraine and the United States are at fault here, and that Russia is just sort of reacting to NATO policies. So that's NATO. So NATO's encroaching on the border of Russia, which was promised that would not happen, and that is exactly what's happening. So Roger Waters is defending, in a sense, Russia for defending their space. So not a lot of people, that's not a very popular opinion, especially because it goes against the narrative that the United States government, Ukraine government, half the world. I mean, I remember in February when all this went down, the whole world came together for Ukraine. And now I think it's up to about $80 billion that's been given to Ukraine in aid, half of that coming from the United States. I think a lot of people are starting to be like, well, what's going on here? It's like, we're not in this hot war. The United States is not in this hot war, but we're over here like doing all these sanctions. We basically reinforced Russia's economy. We did not harm them at all. They're doing great with our sanctions because they're just opening up trade with China and stuff. So that's great. The only people really suffering from our sanctions are the people, and we can even bring it down to Twitch, this platform itself. Is we have people, streamers on this platform who cannot receive bits or subscriptions because of these sanctions. So it's only really fucking over the people there. And the government seems to be just fine. People are making money. The oligarchs are making money. I mean, it's a party over there right now, I guess. I don't know. In any case, I'm not trying to be insensitive to what's going on over there because there are people suffering and such. But people are sort of starting to grow weary of what's happening.
Hello, Moving Dutchman.
Moving Dutchman!
This is Gandalf.
What's up, baby boy? Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you for all that you do for this channel. And always remember, a Moving Dutchman is never late, nor early, but arrives precisely when he means to.
Moving Dutchman, good to see you, my friend. We're just talking about Roger Waters is on a Ukrainian hit list. So one of the founding members of Pink Floyd is now on a Ukrainian hit list for talking shit, which is hilarious and awful, but hilariously awful. So, $80 billion later, half of that given by the United States, people are starting to raise a couple eyebrows, right? They're just like, or can I do it? There you go. One eyebrow. Hold on. To the fact that, billions of dollars are being donated to this seemingly endless war. Ukraine has made it clear that they're not going to back down, and Russia has made it clear that they're not going to back down. And I think what's going on here is that Roger Waters is calling for Ukraine to back down, and Ukraine doesn't like that. And, obviously there is American interest in whatever Ukraine has, or else we wouldn't give so many billions of dollars to this country. So something's going on more than because there's always invasions around the world, but we're not always involved in them. Is there always invasions? I feel like there's always an invasion somewhere. Someone's like, not like country versus country, but like we have like guerrilla military, paramilitary attacks on different countries and stuff like that. So those kind of invasions, but I don't know. In any case, I'm not really taking a side here. I'm just telling you guys what's going on. That's all. Some people are getting a little weary of all this money we're sending over there, and we're just wondering what's going on. So, and me too. It used to be all over the media, and now we don't hear about the war at all anymore. So now that it's quieted down, wonder what they're doing over there. Wonder what they're going to do with all that natural gas deposits underneath the Ukraine. I wonder what's going to happen to those. I wonder what's going to happen to those once this is all over. Okay, so I found this picture of the website. I guess this is the picture of the website. So, hold on. So here you go. This is them calling for Roger Waters George Roger. And I guess somewhere in here it says he's to be killed. Roger Waters added to Ukrainian government-sponsored hit list. Russian political analyst Dara Dugina, who was killed in a car bomb explosion in Moscow on Saturday, now appears as liquidated on the liquidated on the Ukrainian online hit list. The site was created under the watch of the Minister of Internal Affairs. Sound like fake news. It's not fake news, Moving Dutchman. Roger Waters is definitely on a hit list in Ukraine. The article was originally published, editors know the IP. Okay. I've written about the Ukrainian hit list known as the Myrodtverets or the Peacekeeper twice before. The first time, you don't know. Yes, I do know, Moving Dutchman. You don't know. You're not the one that knows. I will post this to my fucking TikTok and solidify this as truth on TikTok, okay? Don't come for me, Moving Dutch man. Mighty! What's going on? Welcome. Let me get some Mighty. Stop copying stuff. Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. I've written about the Ukrainian hit list, Peacekeeper twice before. The first time was in this article about the internet censorship, and the second time was when a 13-year-old Ukrainian girl, Faina, was added to the list for publicly speaking against Kyiv's bloody war on Russia-speaking civilians in the eastern part of Ukraine, a region known as Donbass. Screenshot of Faina's profile. Oh, shit. So she's on the hit list, too. 13-year-old girl made the hit list because she was talking shit. Is a database which lists thousands of journalists, activists, and anyone else who is declared an enemy of Ukraine. Their personal information is published, such as addresses of their homes, their phone numbers, bank accounts, numbers, anything that can help them be easily located. When the people on this list are murdered, like Italian journalist Andrea Rocelli was, the word liquidated written in Ukrainian is stamped across their pictures in big red letters. And as of August 22nd, Daria Dugina, who was killed in a car bomb explosion in Moscow on Saturday, appears as liquidated on the website, adding more credibility to Russia's assertion that she was assassinated by a Ukrainian nationalist who rented an apartment in the building where Daria lived in order to surveil her prior to her killing. It is believed that she was killed because of her father, Alexander Dugin, was referred to as Putin's brain and Putin's spiritual guide in Western media, though these claims are really just more speculation. So look, they write this down. Liquidated. God damn, that's fucking rough. That is just some Moving Dutchman. You better calm your ass down. Kissinger's on it too. I can see why Kissinger's. So what I have a dictionary too. Yes, you do. Okay. So Roger Waters' profile on this website. The Co-founder of Pink Floyd is known for his support of imprisoned WikiLeaks creator Julian Assange and for his opposition to imperialism and war, as well as for his awesome music loved by millions around the world. Waters recently referred to Joe Biden as a war criminal on CNN and said that Biden is fueling the fire in Ukraine. This war, the musician stated, is basically about the action and reaction of NATO pushing right up against the Russian border, which they promised they wouldn't do when Gorbachev negotiated the withdrawal of the USSR from the whole Eastern Europe. Waters also said that Crimea belongs to Russia because the majority of the people living in the peninsula are Russian. He's just saying all the wrong things that people don't want to hear. The rock star's views have outraged the pro-NATO crowd and their Nazi friends, as well as social justice warriors who froth at the mouth in support of whatever the mainstream media declares to be the current thing. Waters, who has also been something of a dissident and anti-war, the way all rock stars used to be when rock and roll was still real, is attacked mercilessly by the woke crowd who are intolerant of all the lockstep with their views. Okay, so there you go. It's Pink Floyd Roger Waters is accused of anti-Semitism. Here's all the things. So, yeah, I mean, this sounds like a blog, and it looks like someone just compiled all this information. Deborah Armstrong. So, obviously, this is someone who is leaning in a certain direction as well. Don't be calling it fake news, Moving Dutchman, because guess what? Jimmy Dore covered it. And if it's on Jimmy Dore, you know it's true, Moving Dutchman. Coming for me, how dare you. All right.
Floyd's basis is on a Ukraine website kill list. Roger Waters.
What? Like kill his podcast or kill him?
Kill him.
Oh.
Roger Waters, the outspoken co-founder of the influential British rock band Pink Floyd, recently went off. Man, can you remember how you're much younger than me. So I grew up in that age.
China.
They were so successful.
Yeah.
They were like they were close to the Beatles.
Yeah, but when I was in college, there was a whole bunch
I mean, China. It's all China.
of people loved Pink Floyd.
People loved Pink Floyd, yeah.
I
They
love
recently
Pink
went
Floyd.
out about the Ukraine. In a CNN interview earlier this month, Roger Waters called President Joe Biden a war criminal and accused him of fueling the fire in Ukraine. Both those things are 100% accurate, so you know he's going to get blowback for it. Waters also lambasted NATO for pushing right up against the Russian border, implying NATO is to blame for Russia invading
He's not
Ukraine.
implying, he's saying it outright.
He's saying it. A notorious Ukrainian website, Myro Trubets, I don't know how to pronounce that. That's Ukrainian for peacekeeper. They placed Waters on its list of people who spread anti-Ukrainian propaganda, which critics refer to as its kill list.
Oh, okay. So at least they don't say this is a kill list.
Right. Myro Trubets is a...
Damn it, Moving Dutchman. You're kind of right. Critics call it a kill list, but it's not an actual kill list. So you're kind of right, Moving Dutchman. And that makes me mad. God damn it, makes me mad.
the controversial website that maintains a list of people who did that. In 2017, the United Nations called for Ukraine to investigate the site for publishing the personal information of thousands of journalists and deeming them enemies of the state. The European Union, G7 nations, and human rights groups have also castigated the site for including journalists on its list and called on Ukraine to investigate. I'm going to guess Ukraine didn't investigate.
It's a ban list, but people end up dying on it. So, of course, it's going to get called a kill list. If people are dying on a list that's created by a whole ass government, don't you think that's somewhat accurate to call it a kill list? If people keep on coming up dead that end up on this list, it does seem like it's a list where people end up getting killed. Kill list. All right, cancel Roger Waters. There you go. Moving Dutchman has canceled Roger Waters. There it is, everybody. It's over. Roger's out. Roger's out.
It is also true that some of the thousands of people on Myro Trevet's list have been killed.
Oh, I didn't hear this and all this stuff about her.
Most recently, Dara Dugina, how do you say that name?
Daria Dugina?
Daria Dugina, the daughter of an ally Russian President Vladimir Putin.
You too, mighty? How dare you? Y'all just ganging up on me like that? All right.
Vagina.
So here's another article. Myro Trevets is a database which lists, okay, the personal information is published. Yep.
Whoa.
When the people on the list are murdered, like Italian journalist Andrea Rocelli was, the word liquidated is written in Ukrainian and is stamped across the picture in big red letters. Wow, that's morbid. And as of today, Daria Dugina, who was killed in a car bomb explosion in Moscow on Saturday, appears as liquidated on the website, adding more credibility to Russians' assertion that she was assassinated by a Ukrainian nationalist who rented an apartment in the building where Daria lived in order to surveil her prior to her killing. For those who say Ukrainian kill list isn't a kill list, there's a screenshot from the Ukrainian site Myrovets where the photo of Daria Dugina is crossed out and it says liquidated. They are openly flaunting her murder.
Boom. The daughter was only killed because she was using her father's car, right? I don't know. I don't know anything about that story. I just know about Roger Waters on the kill list.
It is believed that she was killed because her father, Alexander Dugin, was referred to as Putin's brain and Putin's spiritual guide in Western media, though these claims are really just more speculation.
There's no connection that's...
Listen, you better calm down, movie devil. You came in here with the spice. Came in here with the European spice, baby. Americans know everything. That's why we're number one in obesity.
real that you can make between them. That's just some media thing they start. It's really something.
You mean like between Saddam Hussein and
Yeah,
weapons
right.
of mass destruction? They just made it up?
I mean, can they do that?
It seems that almost anyone can be added to the kill list. Where's my name? Even Henry Kissinger's name is on that list, despite his long history of Russophobia. But since he dared to air his concerns about how the U.S. is teetering toward war with Russia and China, Kissinger, who once suggested dropping nuclear bombs on Moscow, is now declared an enemy of Ukraine.
Boy, they're not as forgiving as, say, Vietnam and...
No. Myro Trevets became infamous following the murders of two Ukrainian public figures in 2015 whose private information was published on the website. Oles Buzina, a 45-year-old writer and journalist, and Oleg Kalashnikov, a 52-year-old deputy of Ukrainian parliament, they were killed just a few days after the publication of their home and addresses.
They dox people and then they put a good... Wow.
It's
The
Jimmy
U.S.
Dore.
State Department confirmed that the Ukrainian Ministry of Internal Affairs was connected to the website.
Okay.
So, U.S. State Department confirmed that the Ukrainian Ministry of Internal Affairs was connected to the website and acknowledged the publication of the journalist's personal data, but the U.S. government has taken no action to block the website. So there it is. Our own State Department has confirmed that the Ukrainian Ministry of Internal Affairs is connected to the actual website. So we do have a government-sponsored website that has an active a Ukrainian sponsored, government-sponsored website that has a picture of a international musician, super famous Roger Waters on it, and they also list other people who've come up dead. And fucking, they're calling it a kill list. It seems like a kill list. If it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, gosh darn it, Moving Dutchman, it's a duck. I'm connected to Twitch TV also. Jennifer, what's going on, G? Good to see you. My new neighbor is here. Make that acknowledgement funny. Boobs. Your neighbor is boobs? You got boobs for a neighbor? Yo, if I had boobs for a neighbor, I'd be like,
yo, baby, what's up? Why don't you come on over, hang out for a couple? Yeah, baby, come on over, boobies. I need that in my life, boobies. Get those boobies on over here, baby. I need some boobies over here. Yeah.
And then who's your other neighbor? Booty? Is your other neighbor Booty? You got boobs on one side and booty on the other? And that's like,
Yo, Booty. Oh, shit. My other neighbor is Booty? Oh, damn. Bring that sweet ass on over here, G. I want to touch your booty, Booty. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, baby. I'm trying to touch that booty. That booty.
No, that's not what I was trying to say. I see. What does a duck say? Beep, 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 beep. Moving Dutchman, Moving Dutchman has a crooked ass stick up his ass today because he's just coming for me. Moving Dutchman, did I offend you? Did I make you mad, Moving Dutchman? What did I do to you, sir?